Okay, dear students, welcome you all for today's class. Actually, we were in liquid pressure. Now, last class we were dealing with liquid pressure, and we have just come to know what is liquid pressure. E equals to H into D into G, where H is the depth of the liquid column and D is the density of the liquid and G is the acceleration due to gravity. And I had told you that for the same liquid, D is constant, G is constant, so P proportion to H. So, for the same liquid, as the depth increases, pressure also increases. But if suppose there are different liquids, and if we keep the depth same for different liquids, these are different liquids, and suppose the depth is same, HH or DD, whatever you can say, different liquids, their depth is same, that means H is same, H is same, G will remain same at a place. So, in that case, it will be directly proportional to the density of the liquid. So, out of two liquids, the one which has got more density will exert more pressure. So, एउटै किसिमको चाहिँ लिक्विड छ भने, जस्तो वाटरको केस हामी लिइरहेछौँ भने, कुनै पनि एउटा ठाउँमा वाटर भन्नु बित्तिकै अब डेन्सिटी सेम भयो, एउटै ठाउँमा जी सेम हुने भयो, र त्यहाँ प्रेसर चाहिँ डाइरेक्टली प्रोपोर्सनल डेप्थ अफ द वाटर लेभलको अनुसार हुन्छ. हाइट अफ द वाटर कलम भनौँ या डेप्थ अफ द वाटर कलम, द्याट मिन्स त्यो केसमा पी प्रोपोर्सन एच हुन्छ. तर यहाँ मैले अहिले के भने त भन्दाखेरि त्यो डिफ्रेन्ट लिक्विड छ, दुईवटा भेसल छ, दुईटै भेसलमा सेम डेप्थमा, एउटामा वाटर अर्कोमा सपोज हामीले ओइल राखेका छौँ भने, सो डेफिनेटली वी नो डेन्सिटी अब वाटरको बढी हुन्छ, ओइलको कम हुन्छ भने वाटरको चाहिँ डेन्सिटी बढी भएको हुनाले त्यहाँ के हुन्छ त भन्दाखेरि प्रेसर वाटरको बढी हुन्छ, ओइलको कम हुन्छ. त्यस्तै कुनै चाहिँ अब मानौँ मर्करी हामीले लिन्छौँ, सपोज मर्करी र वाटर लिन्छ भने मर्करीको डेन्सिटी बढी हुन्छ, वाटरको कम हुन्छ भने मर्करीको प्रेसर बढी हुन्छ. सो in that case, when liquids are different and if their depth is same, in that case pressure is directly proportional to the density D, density of the liquid. Now, एउटा कुरा यहाँ अझै हामीले बुझ्नुपर्ने जरुरी छ. One more thing, suppose this is a type of vessel. Suppose this is another type of vessel. Suppose this is another type of vessel. If you will see, all these are filled with suppose water. One more you can take, suppose this one. So, this is another vessel. This H is same. This H is same. But if you will see these vessels A, B, C, D, suppose A, B, C, D, their shapes and sizes are different. So, it means the quantity of water in all these four vessels, these are also different. If quantity of water is different in all the vessels, so their masses are also different. So, they have got different mass. Now, the question arises, what will be the pressure at the bottom of each vessel? झट्ट हेर्दाखेरि यसो हेर्छ मानौँ यसमा बढी जस्तो लाग्छ, यसमा थोरै लाग्छ, मास चाहिँ यसमा कम छ पानीको, त्यसकारण यसमा कम प्रेसर लाग्छ होला, यसमा मास धेरै छ बढी प्रेसर लाग्छ होला, यस्तो फिल हुन्छ. But it's not like that. If you see here also, P equals to H, H is the height or depth, you can say, that is same for all these four types of vessels, into D, D is the density, all four are liquid. In all the four vessels we have taken liquid, the same sorry, we have taken water, the same liquid water we have taken. So, that means the D is also same and they are at the same place. So, G is also same. So, what is the conclusion? What do we conclude? That the pressure at the bottom of all these vessels, the pressure of water is same. So, it does not depend upon the mass. Okay? It is clear? Okay. Now, let me move ahead. By using this formula, let us try to do a very simple numerical. Suppose the the question is like this: the depth of a rectangular water tank is 6 meter. Find the pressure exerted by water at its bottom. And for your convenience, it is given G 10 meter per second square and density of water is also given 1000 kg per meter cube. Now, look the solution. Now, dear students, once again I would like to remind you, the value of G may not be given also. It is not necessary that whenever you will ask the numerical, the value of G is given there. It is not necessary. You have to keep in your mind the value of G, either 9.8 you can take, or you can take approximately 10 also. And sometimes what happens, density of water also may not be given. That also you should know. In CGS unit, you know, it is 1 gram per centimeter cube, 1 gram per cc we say. And but in SI unit, it is 1000 kg per meter cube. So, anyway, the question is it's very easy because the value of G and D both are given. So, very easily now you can calculate. If you will see here are the given things. We know that P equals to H into D into G. H is given the depth, H is the depth, H is given 6 meter, D is given 1000 kg per meter cube, and G is given 10 meter per second square. So, pressure will be, all the units are in SI, so no problem, 6 into 1000 into 10, this much Pascal, because SI unit of pressure is Pascal, and it will be 6 into 10 to the power 4, 6000 into 10, 3010 10 to the power 4 Pascal. So, this is very simple numerical, but I have given you few things. You have to be very much careful. First thing, these two value may not be given. Second thing, sometimes it may be given in meter per second square, it is given, Here it may be gram per centimeter cube, 1 gram per centimeter cube. So, if you write here 1 in this formula, and if you write here 1 and 60 Pascal, that will be wrong. So, 1 gram per centimeter cube, sometimes it is given. So, you have to convert that into kg per meter cube. I will show you, because I have seen students committing mistake. Density of water is given 1 gram per cc, like that, cubic centimeter. This is not the SI unit, we have to convert into kg per meter cube. So, 1 gram per cc means 1 gram upon 1 centimeter cube, it means this. So, you have to convert gram into kg, and we know that to convert gram into kg we have to divide by 1000. So, it is your 1 upon 1000 you can write, or 10 to the power minus 3 kg upon, now 1 centimeter cube means 1 centimeter whole cube. So, to convert centimeter into meter you have to divide by 100. So, that means 10 to the power minus 2 and whole cube. 1 centimeter is 10 to the power minus 2 meter whole cube. So, it is your 10 to the power minus 3 kg upon 10 to the power 3 to the 6 minus 6 meter. It goes up 10 to the power minus 3 plus 6, 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube, kg per meter cube. It becomes now your 1000 kg per meter cube. So, I have shown you sometimes gram per cc is given, you have to convert that into kg per meter cube. Anyway, now I will move ahead. I will proceed. Now, in this chapter, the very important and as well as very interesting principle is, or law is, Pascal's law. Pascal's law. Before going to write this Pascal's law, if you can do at home very simple experiment you can do. What do? You take a balloon, एउटा balloon लिनुस् तपाईहरुले and fill with water completely. यसलाई पानी हालेर चाहिँ फुलाउनुस्. Okay? Then you just you prick with the help of very small needle. You can make holes. Okay? Now, you just try, if you press at one point, from all the holes water will come out with the equal pressure. यसलाई हामीले यो एक्सपेरिमेन्ट गरेर हेर्यौं भने, सपोज यो बेलुन जब हाम्रो फुलिहाल्छ with water, अनि यसलाई हामीले यहाँ टाई गर्दैछौं, and we can make holes at different places. If you squeeze or if you press at any point, one point, then you will see water will come out with the same pressure from all the holes. Why it happens so? Another thing, suppose you take a vessel like this and you just suppose fill water. You fill water. Now take a piston here Okay, this is a piston. Now, if you press, what will happen? If you press here, what will happen? For the observation, if you put another piston, okay, here, if you push water here, then what you will see that if you push this piston downward, then you will see that this piston is moving upward. Now, the question arises in our mind, how it happens. So, the answer we get in Pascal's law. The answer was given by Pascal's law in 17th century. In 1647 AD, he was the French physicist. Okay, पास्कल, ब्लेस पास्कल, उहाँले यो दिनुभएको ल हो. यो लले के भन्छ भन्दाखेरि, what is the Pascal's law? It states that the pressure exerted anywhere in a confined liquid is transmitted equally and undiminished in all directions throughout the liquid. Try to understand this law clearly. The pressure exerted EXER, or the pressure applied also you can say, anywhere in a confined liquid. The word confined, that means it's a limited liquid, it's enclosed in a vessel. कुनै बन्द भाँडोमा राखिएको लिक्विड, कन्फाइन्ड लिक्विडको अर्थ त्यो लिमिटेड. ओके, एउटा बन्द भाँडोभित्र राखिएको छ नि, द्याट्स अ कन्फाइन्ड लिक्विड. द्याट मिन्स द प्रेसर applied or exerted anywhere in a confined liquid, or you can say in a liquid enclosed in a vessel, okay, is transmitted. That pressure is transmitted equally and undiminished. What the pressure is applied at that point without getting diminished, it transmits equally in all directions throughout the liquid. So, now you can understand this. This liquid is limited liquid because it's inside a balloon. So, it's a confined liquid. So, when we at a point we were pressing it, that means we were exerting pressure, we were creating pressure, we were applying pressure. That pressure was equally transmitted in all directions without getting diminished. So, that is why water through all the holes, they were coming out with the same pressure. Similarly, in this case also, actually we have pushing it down, we are pushing this piston down. Now, the pressure we have created here, that pressure is transmitted equally without getting diminished, and it comes up to here. That is why if any piston is here, we are applying pressure downward, that is being transmitted equally in all the directions, and it comes here and it pushes this piston in the upward direction. So, these are some observations or examples just to make it clear. Pascal's law. So, what is Pascal's law? Pascal's law states that whenever pressure is applied at any point in a confined liquid, then that pressure is transmitted equally without getting diminished in all the directions throughout the liquid. Clear? I think you have understood Pascal's law. Now, one more experiment you can see for the verification. So, a vessel is like this. Suppose this is a vessel. Suppose all these areas, or suppose these are the pistons. Suppose this is piston P1, piston P1, this is piston P2, this is piston P3, this is piston P4. This is a vessel. You can see 4 openings and pistons are fitted here, and all the pistons are of same area, okay, equal area. Now, if in any one piston, suppose in piston P1, if you apply a force F downward, and sorry, it is filled with, sorry, is filled with water. So, this liquid is confined liquid because it is inside this vessel. Okay, there are 4 openings. They all are connected with the pistons, and all the pistons are of same area. Area is same. Suppose A. Area of all the pistons are same. Now, if you push it downward, if you push piston P1 downward with a force F, suppose, what will we observe? What will be our observation? We will see that piston P1 is being pushed downward. We will see all these pistons P2, P3, P4, they will be moving outward. They get pulled outward with the same, I mean by the same length, by the same distance. Okay? So, this experiment also clearly verifies Pascal's law. The pressure which we had applied here in the piston P1, that pressure is equally transmitted in all the directions. Now, as because the area of cross section, they were same A, so that is why the movement outward or displacement outward, or they were pulled outward with the same distance, with the equal distance. Okay? So, this is also one experiment to make it clear, this law. Now, Pascal's law has a very huge applications in our daily life. Applications of Pascal's law. Applications of Pascal's law. Actually, this principle, Pascal's principles, on the basis of this, hydraulic machines are made. Hydraulic machines. Different type of hydraulic machines are there, like hydraulic uh, garage lift, hydraulic brakes, hydraulic press, etc. So, different types of hydraulic machines are used in our day to day life. Okay? It has got a very big application, you can say, Pascal's law application. So, on the basis of Pascal's law, hydraulic machine actually works. So, what is a hydraulic machine? Hydraulic machine, it is a machine. Hydraulic machine is a machine which works on the basis of Pascal's law, or which works on the principle of Pascal's law. And what is its main use? Its main use to just magnify the force. That means, by applying less effort, we can lift heavier loads, or we can perform withhold the heavier loads. So, in other words, we can say hydraulic machine, it is a machine which works under the principle of Pascal's law, and which is used to magnify force. By applying less effort, we can overcome a larger force. It means magnifying force means by applying less effort, we can overcome larger force. How it works? Very simple, its construction. Let us try to understand hydraulic machines. Simple structure, it's like this. So, you can see two tubes like this, A1 and A2, and they are connected with this tube, horizontal tube. This is a horizontal tube. Two tubes A1, A2 of different cross section. A1 is smaller, A2 it's a larger cross sectional area, and these two tubes are connected with a horizontal tube. Okay. Now, in your smaller in the tube having the smaller area, suppose this is the piston, this is one piston. When we apply force here, suppose we apply force F1, then a pressure is created. Try to understand this. This is a platform, you can say, or this is another piston or on platform. Now, it is a confined liquid. water is here. Okay. So, when we apply force here downward here, clear, and if suppose its cross sectional area of this piston is A1 and its cross sectional area is suppose A2, what will be the pressure we are applying here downward? That is F1 upon A1. If the cross sectional area of this piston is A1 here, when we apply force F1, so how much pressure is created here? This is the pressure. Pressure, okay? It's here in the smaller piston, it's F1 upon A1. Now, what does Pascal's principle say, Pascal's law say? That this pressure without getting diminished, it is being transferred, it is being transmitted to everywhere in this liquid. So, this is acting downward, that is going without getting diminished, it will act here. This pressure will act here. Okay. Now, its area is A2. Now, just think how much force can be overcome here on this larger piston. Suppose that is F2, this is the load, one load is a force. Suppose F2 load or F2 force can be uplifted, can be lifted up. So, how much pressure was there? Same, this is the pressure. If A2 is the area, F2 load is being overcome or F2 force is being overcome, what will be the pressure then mathematically? Here pressure is F2 upon A2, but what Pascal's law say? That pressure is being created by the pressure which we created here in smaller piston, that is F1 upon A1, that goes there, that pressure makes this platform or piston to move up having the load F2. So, that is why this and these two are same. So, we can say F2 upon A2 equals to F1 upon A1. Is clear? So, I think this much you have understood, and the further explanation and then applications, how now it is being used, that I will tell you in my next class, because already I have got the indications that the time is over. So, for today this much only. Hope up to here you have understood. Thank you very much.